Near Mint Condition, the home of collected editions.
That cover's so awesome.
This is Mr. Chris Claremont, a legend.
Melanie goes,
Tired.
what's up, all you Minties? Uncanny Omar here from Near Mint Condition, the home of collected editions. And today, I get to talk about the upcoming collected editions for the month of November of 2023. That's right, it is our monthly budget meeting. So, let's empty those wallets and fill those shelves, baby. And welcome back, everybody. Now, before going any further, if you're enjoying the content of our videos, please think about subscribing and smash that like button. That goes a long way for us. And if you ring that little bell, that will give you the notifications to let you know when our videos are going live, because we put out videos every day, sometimes 2, sometimes 3 videos a day, depending on how crazy we get. And big thank you to our patrons for making videos like this possible. Could not be doing this without you all. And the link to our Patreon and our spread shop, where you can get cool shirts like this or stickers like this, is in the description of the video. Now, one more shout out, and that is to my buddy Aaron Cobbs for helping me put together the Marvel and DC section of this video. Alright, 4 weeks. A little bit of a slowdown because it's right around the holidays, which is what they tend to do, except for last year when we had a couple of Omni-Gettons. But things have slowed down just a little bit, which is good. Gives people a break, gives people a chance to catch up on things that are coming out. So let's go ahead and start with the week of November 7th. Or 8th, I guess, depending on where you get your books. From Marvel Comics, we have Star Wars, Scoundrels, Rebels, and the Empire, continuing the Mark Guggenheim era of Star Wars. This collects Star Wars Return of the Jedi, Jabba's Palace, Ewoks, Lando, the Empire, the Rebellion, and Max Rebo. This book has 216 pages and retails for $29.99. And X-Men, X-Verse, X-Women, that's a lot of X's. Collecting X-Men First Class number 1, Uncanny Origins number 9, Uncanny X-Men First Class 4, Marvel Age Spider-Man Team Up number 5, and Women of Marvel number 1, and Marvel Voices Indigenous Voices. This book has 120 pages, and it is digest size, so it is $9.99. Daredevil by Mark Waid, Omnibus, Volume 1. Both covers will be available on the same day. If you want a more in-depth overview of the book, I've already done one because I try to do Marvel Omnis a week before they come out. So if you want to check that out, I'll leave the link above, or you just check the playlist of Omnibus. But both covers are out the same day, as well as both covers of Captain America Return of the Winter Soldier. And that one there I've done an overview of as well. They came out this past Monday. This collects Captain America and Bucky 620 to 628. Fear Itself 7.1, Captain America Winter Soldier 1 through 14, Captain America 11 through 19, and Fear Itself Book of the Skull, 752 pages, $100. And every month I do my top 10 must-reads, essential buys for the month. So that will come out this Sunday. And some of the books I'm talking about here will make... Actually, yeah, all the books that I talk about on that video were in this video. And if you want written documentation, by the way, of the stuff in here, that can be found on our Patreon, and that's at the $1 tier. Warlock Rebirth by Ron Mars and Ron Lim, reuniting both Rons for this particular story. Of course, both of the gentlemen worked on Silver Surfer, but this is Warlock Rebirth. And I see Legacy back there with Gamora and Pip. Echo, the Saga of Maya Lopez. So we know these saga books are big, thick, epic-size books that Marvel has been putting out. They put out one for Captain Marvel, not just Monica Rambeau, but also Carol Danvers. This one here collects Daredevil, the 1998 series, 9 through 15, and 51 through 55. So it is the introduction of the character of Maya Lopez, Echo. So you have artwork in here by Joe Quesada and David Mack, and of course story by David Mack. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1, Grootfall. Very excited for this one. If you've read it, please let me know what you think about it without spoilers. I'm actually, it's in my pile to read. It's the last one because I was hoping to save the best for last, and that's because I really have enjoyed both Jackson Lansing and Colin Kelly on the things they've worked on in the past, whether it's independent stuff or whether it's Marvel. But this collects the first 5 issues of this new ongoing series, and on top of that, the beautiful icing on this cake is that Kev Walker, one of my favorite artists, is the ongoing artist on this book, and the cover is by Marco Cicchetto. And I'm curious. I know nothing about this particular group of Guardians of the Galaxy, but it looks like he is using some from the past, maybe all from the past. Because I mean, they've had quite a number of team members over the years. Planet of the Apes: Fall of Man. Now, this is the Marvel Comics 2023 series when they got the rights to Planet of the Apes, and so not the classic stuff. This collects the 5-issue miniseries by David F. Walker and illustrated by Dave Watcher. This one's 126 pages, $19.99. Amazing Spider-Man Epic Collection, Great Responsibility. So this is getting a new printing, and this collects Amazing Spider-Man 18 through 38 in annual number 2. This is Epic Collection number 2. And this one has 504 pages, $49.99. The Mighty Marvel Masterworks, The Fantastic Four Volume 3. It started on Yancey Street. Oh, man, we're getting into some good stuff here. Collecting Fantastic Four 21 through 29. I need to get my kids back on that. They've been so busy with schools and after-school programs that we haven't had a chance to record. But I'm going to make it a thing to record this weekend, a couple of episodes. But this one has 216 pages, $15.99. From the world of DC Comics, we have Superman Ending Battle. This is the new printing. This is a really interesting reprint. Collecting Superman 185 and 186, Adventures of Superman 608 to 609, Superman to Man of Steel 130 to 131, Action Comics 795 to 796. But just check out the creative team here. I'm surprised this wasn't released as a deluxe, because you have Joe Kelly, Joe Casey, Jeff Johns, Mark Schultz as some of the creators behind this particular series. And yeah, I actually enjoyed that. So very underrated. Superman Brainiac is also getting a reprint. Now this collects the Brainiac story, which to me was my favorite Jeff Johns Superman story that he wrote. Gary Frank does the artwork, and there is a lot of heartache in this one. This one just breaks my heart to read, but it's so beautiful. This one is 128 pages and $16.99. It is a paperback. And what is not a paperback is the new printing, the new edition of the DC, the New Frontier, the Deluxe Edition. And that is $59.99. So I think they used to be $49.99, but this time, yeah, it's gone up $10. And just like I'm sure you noticed, the Marvel trades have gone up as well. I was talking to my buddy Curtis about this, how paper's just gone up in price in the last 4 years, how much of it's increased. Superman Unchained, the Deluxe Edition. This is the new printing of the Deluxe Edition. This is the story by Scott Snyder and Jim Lee with Dustin Nguyen. It's Scott Williams actually inking a lot of the stuff in here, and then Alex Sinclair. Superman Unchained 1 through 9 is what's collected in there. Catwoman Volume 3, Duchess of Gotham. This is the Teenie Howard series. I love that cover there. And the illustrations inside are Sammy Basri, are the artist. And there's... it doesn't say what it collects in here, but sometimes DC doesn't put what is the content of the book. Absolute Batman, The Court of Owls 2023 edition. So this is the new printing of The Court of Owls for the people that missed out on it the first time. So if you're a fan of this story, or you're a fan of Greg Capullo's artwork, this is the biggest size that it comes in. Unless they ever release, I guess, the artist edition, IDW ever does any of that. $125, 360 pages. The Sandman Universe, The Dead Boy Detectives. This collects Dead Boy Detectives 1 through 6, but keep in mind this is the new series. It's not the classic stuff that was in the Omnibus. This one is done by Pornsak Pichote. Oh my gosh, I really like that writer. That's the guy that did Infidel. Solid. Jeff Stokely. Oh, now I'm really curious to read this. $19.99, 176 pages. Superman Volume 1, Super Court. and that is a hardcover. This is Joshua Williamson continuing his run with Jamal Campbell on artwork, collecting Superman 1 through 5, the 2023 series. $24.99, 184 pages. Superman vs. Meshi, Volume 2. That covers so ridiculous. This is the manga that they've been adapting over, and then Joker, One Operation Joker Volume 2. Satoshi Miyagawa, and illustrated by Kyosuke Gotuo. And both of these are 144 pages, $9.99. I just wonder if somebody that loves Batman and loves the Bat villains just goes and randomly picks that up and is so confused why Joker is raising a baby. Well, maybe. Command E. The Last Boy on Earth by Jack Kirby, Volume 2. So, finishing out his run, 21 through 40, of The Last Boy on Earth. And I believe they are doing a follow-up to this, to Jack Kirby's era. Batman Reptilian, this is the trade paperback version of the Garth Ennis and Liam Sharp story, collecting all 6 issues of Batman Reptilian. Wonder Woman, the Golden Age Omnibus Volume 5. They haven't forgotten about you guys that love this stuff. Collecting Action Comics 142, Wonder Woman 35 through 47, Sensation Comics 90 to 104. 688 pages, $150. From the world of manga, it looks like we're finally getting a 5 centimeters per second. And this is the hardcover edition, though. If you've not read it, oh, it is such a beautiful story. But then again, all of Shinkai's stories are wonderful. It is written by Makoto Shinkai, who did the movie, and then it is drawn by Yukiko Seiki. Now, this was previously released as an all-in-one, but it was in a paperback format. The Art of Tale of Princess Kaguya, which is a heartbreaking story. If you've not seen it, it is a Studio Ghibli film. And absolutely beautiful, and I love these art books, and I'm putting it here because, well, it's part of the manga category. I don't know, sometimes I don't know where to put things. We're also getting the Black Knight Parade, Volume 1, and that is a brand new series coming out from 7 Seas Entertainment. And that one there is written and drawn by Hikaru Nakamura. And also that week, we're getting the Darwin Incident, Volume 2. And that one there is published by Vertical Comics. I didn't even know about this one. The cover's really interesting because it looks like they're using like airbrush colors on that cover. Kind of reminds me of when they were trying to colorize manga in the 90s. Hellsing is getting a deluxe edition, and Volume 1 is coming out that week. Now, it's a deluxe paperback edition, so what this does is, I think, at least from the page count and everything, it collects everything that the deluxe hardcover has, except it's at a more affordable price, and it's also smaller. It's like a regular tankobon size, but thicker. $14.99. If you haven't had a chance to pick it up, Hellsing's a lot of fun. Sky, the Art of Final Fantasy, is getting a new printing this particular week, and this is a beautiful edition. If you missed out on it the first time around, when these things go out of print, you know, for the people that collect these, like myself, know how much they go for. It goes for ridiculous amounts of money, but they are reprinting it, and also including the visionary illustrations by Yoshitaka Amano. One Piece, Volume 104, Oda, just non-stop, baby. He's like, he did take a break, actually. I heard that Eiichiro Oda did take a break for a little bit, but now he's back, and it is coming out that week, 104. Who is that? Is that Luffy, maybe? Osamu Tezuka, 100 Tales is coming out. Very happy to see this. This is a Blaze Publishing. It looks like that's not the only title. I saw some that were solicited for later on next year. So very excited that somebody else is focusing on these classic stories. I know they're not for everybody. And I do love the fact that in America, we call him the godfather of manga. But in Japan, it's the god of manga. They are like, they ain't no godfather. That's the god of manga. They ain't no shame in their game. All right. From other publishers, specifically from the world of Dark Horse Comics, we have the Complete American Gods. This is the trade paperback edition of the big thick books. So this collects American Gods Shadows 1 through 9, My Einzel 1 through 9, The Moment of the Storm 1 through 9. This book has 712 pages and retails for $59.99. So it's, I want to say this is like their compendium, but there's no name on it. It's just called American Gods Space Job. David A. Goodman collecting Space Job 1 through 4. Alvador Saracesca and Jordi Esquin are the artists on this particular book. 88 pages, $19.99. Assassin's Apprentice Volume 1. Jody Hauser and Robin Robb with Ryan Kelly and Jordi Belair. And there is a blurb. It doesn't. This is an original graphic novel, but there's a blurb here from George R. Martin. Fantasy as it ought to be written. Thanks, George. I wish you'd go back and finish your Song of Ice and Fire. But that's neither here nor there. Thank you for watching, Mr. Martin. Cyberpunk 2077 Library Edition Volume 1. That is coming out that week, and this collects Cyberpunk 2077 Trauma Team 1 through 4, You Have My Word 1 through 4, Blackout 1 through 4, 328 pages, $49.99. These are big books if you've not had a chance to see a library edition. I'll be doing an advanced look at it on the channel sometime soon. Sonic the Hedgehog, the IDW Comic Art Collection. So this is a hardcover collecting artwork from the era of Sonic the Hedgehog at IDW. 120 pages, $19.99. Sonic the Hedgehog, Knuckles' greatest hits. So if you're a fan of Knuckles, here you go. It is written by Ian Fleming with artwork by Jennifer Hernandez and Tracy Yardley and Evan Stanley, just to name a few. So it collects greatest hits from Sonic the Hedgehog 3, Sonic the Hedgehog 10, 11, the Free Comic Book Day 2022, and the Guardian story from Annual 2022. Godzilla Rivals Round 2. Keith Davidson, my buddy Keith, wrote this, and it's got artwork in here from Fedio Wind and Philip Johnson. And this is the second volume that continues the big kaiju brawl between these giant monsters. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Last Ronin, Lost Years. Kevin Eastman, Tom Waltz, Ben Bishop, S.L. Gallant. This collects the 5-issue series and the TMNT Lost Days special. $29.99. It's a hardcover, 208 pages. Dungeons and Dragons Saturday Morning Adventure. Dude, that cover alone had me. I was like, oh, I love that CBS series. I think it aired back, I was in Peru when this was coming out, so we got it about a year later. We got it in 84, and I think in America it aired in 83. I know it went on for several seasons, though, but each season was really short. I think it only lasted like 26, 27 episodes. But this continues the story of the Dungeons and Dragons, where 6 kids get trapped in that particular world. 96 pages, $12.99. That is nostalgia right there. Transitions, A Mother's Journey. This is by Elodie Durand, and the translations are by Evan McGorry. So this one is $19.99, 176 pages. From the world of Image Comics, we have the Invincible Compendium Volume 3. These are those big, thick books. And this is it. This collects all of Mark Grayson's story, 97 through 144, $99.99. And they still haven't done the compendium in hardcover of the universe, the Invincible Universe. And we need a volume 2 of that. Noctera is coming back. I really enjoyed the series by Scott Snyder and Tony Daniel. This is collecting Noctera 12 through 16 and the Vow special. And World Tree trade paperback volume 1. Before I even saw the creator, I knew that was James Tiny, and I don't know what it is about his names and titles. He loves breaking codes. Jordi Belair and Fernando Blanco. So this collects issues 1 through 5 of this particular story. Last Man Volume 3 is coming out, collecting... Oh, no, doesn't say what it collects. Oh, no, it collects Last Man Volume 5 and Volume 6. So this looks to be a restock coming out. And, yes, Manifest Destiny, Deluxe Edition, Book 1. So this is a hardcover, collecting issues 1 through 24. $59.99. From the world of Boom Comics, we have Ghost Lore by Cullen Bunn and Leo Max. This collects Ghost Lore 1 through 4. We have Jim Henson's Power of the Dark Crystal Complete Collection hardcover. This is $75. You have Cy Spurrier, Philip Kennedy Johnson, Say No More, and the Dark Crystal. I think this one was delayed. I think it was supposed to come out last. Was it last month? I think it was supposed to come out. Yeah, it got a little bit delayed. So it is supposed to come out this week. But as always, like I like to mention, sometimes things get delayed. All right, from other publishers, we have Black Sand Beach, Volume 4. Where Do Monsters Come From? This is by Richard Fairgray, and it is published by Pixel and Ink. And we also have Cardboard Kingdom, Volume 3, Snow and Sorcery. That is published by KNOPF Books for Young Readers. Hey, young readers, you got me at that. Love seeing kids read. Doctor Who, Once Upon a Time Lord. This is the regular edition that is coming out that week from Titan Comics, $17.99. And we're also getting Felix the Cat, and it looks like Rocket Ship Entertainment is publishing Felix the Cat. You know, I've never read a Felix the Cat comic, and it doesn't count that Todd McFarlane would sneak in Felix the Cat into his Spider-Man or Spawn comics. Does not count. We're also getting The Good Girls Go to Hell. How is that possible? That is published by Graphic Mundi, PSU Press. And Hoggy at the Bat is coming out in a hardcover format by Holiday House. Holiday House is also publishing I Did It, and that is in soft cover format. Oh wait, this is I'm Ogre It. Oh, it's a play on words. Holiday House also is doing this one in softcover format, $7.99 by Jeff Ebeler. He's the writer and artist. Those look cute. They look like for young adults or for kids kind of books. And people always ask me what kind of books there are for kids to read as a family. And I love questions like that. And I've done videos like that in the past. It looks like Titan Comics is restocking Inside the Mind of Sherlock Holmes in that particular week. And we're also getting Lamentation in trade paperback format, and that is published by Oni Press Incorporated. Macanudo is coming out in a hardcover format, and this is from Fantagraphics Books. It looks insane. It is written and drawn by Linears. Optimism is for the brave. I love that cover. Magical History Tour 3-in-1 is coming out that very same week from Paper Cuts, and this is Volume 1. We're also getting Mark Twain's The Man That Corrupted Hadleyburg in graphic novel format, so it is going to be released in a softcover format from Humanoids Publishing. Mossy and Tweed Double Trouble is coming out that very same week, and that is published by Holiday House. And Nightcrawler's hardcover, Volume 1, The Boy Who Cried Wolf, is coming out that very same week. On the Way is being published by Ablaze Publishing. That looks really sweet. Paco Hernandez and Jose Angel Ares are the creators behind this. $19.99. It looks like a good read, just based on the cover. And sometimes you can judge a book by their cover, and sometimes, you cannot. Skip is coming out both in hardcover format and in a softcover format. I love that publishers do that. The Cliff is coming out from Drawn and Quarterly, and this is I think this is Manon de Valle and Montana Kane's breakout graphic novel, and it looks good. I'll probably order it. Looks like a great read, right? Like something that a lot of people sleep on, just based on what the story is about. So actually, let me share that with you. It's a schoolyard. Outcast Charlie and Astrid meet after school near a cliff at the edge of the woods surrounding their sleepy town. They make a blood pact to jump together in 5 days' time before their 13th birthdays. With a deft use of colored pencils. Oh, wow. Debaye captures childhood's last pivotal moments as it teeters on the edge of adolescence with startling honesty in this devastatingly well-crafted debut. Yeah, so it is their debut. It just looks like a strong read. 2000 AD is publishing another one of their big, beautiful art editions, and this is the Apex edition. So this is the art of Kevin O'Neill. I'm actually going to do an overview of that soon. It's all these books I need to do overviews of. Black Box Chronicles is coming out that very same week. And that one there, I think it was delayed. It was supposed to come out in October, but now it's coming out in November. And also coming out that week is the EC Fan Addict number 5. And I didn't even know these were coming out. That just looks really interesting. And Fall of the House of Usher, if you've been following the series, this is an adaptation of Edgar Allan Poe's story. So not an adaptation of the series, but man, that series is so good if you haven't seen it. Oh, Feeding Dangerously is coming out. This is from TKO Studios. Both the direct market Mignola cover and the standard edition cover are coming out that very same week. Grumpy Cat, Grumpus, and Other Horrible Holiday Tales. I keep forgetting Grumpy Cat was a real cat, and now they're making, well, I guess they've been making comics about him. Hilda and the Fairy Village is coming out in a hardcover format. That always reminds me of reading comics to my kids. I love that. If you haven't seen it, those are some great graphic novels for kids. Juniper is coming out in trade paperback format from Scout Comics. And we're also getting Miles Davis in the Search for Sound coming out in a hardcover format from Z2 Comics. And Power Button Volume 1 First Invasion is coming out from Graphic Universe. And we're also getting Worm, a Cuban American Odyssey, coming out that very same week. And that is being published by Metropolitan Books. The week of November 14th from Marvel Comics, we have X-Men Grand Design Trilogy. So this collects Grand Design 1 and 2, Second Genesis 1 and 2, and Extinction 1 and 2. And Ed Piskor is both the writer and artist, and this condenses pretty much the history of X-Men into, I guess, one big 264-page trade paperback. Star Wars Legends Epic Collection, The Empire, Volume 8. So collecting Empire 5 and 6, 8 through 13, number 15, X-Wing Rogue Squadron, the half issue, Star Wars A New Hope Special Edition 1 through 4, Star Wars Tag and Banker Dead, number 1, and Star Wars Tales 1, 6, 8 through 12, 8 through 10, 12, 14, 16, and 19. And I believe that is the last Epic Collection for the Empire. Let me know in the comments down below. Blade, the early years Omnibus. So this collects a big chunk of Tomb of Dracula that just features Blade, including his first appearance, of course. So Tomb of Dracula number 10, 12 through 14, 24, 30, 41 through 43, 45, 51, 53, and 58. It also collects the Marvel Preview number 3, Fear 24, Doctor Strange 61 and 62, and 67, plus material from Tomb of Dracula 17 through 19, 21, 44, 46 through 50, and 52. Vampire Tales 8 through 9, and Marvel Preview number 8, and Marvel Comics Presents number 64. If you own the Tomb of Dracula Omnis, this is nothing but a huge double dip. I think the only thing that you get in here that's not collected in those is the Marvel Comics Presents. If you don't own them, and you don't ever care to own them, and you want to see where Blade started, this is the book for you. This tells every single one of his early appearances, including some of the stuff from the Vampire Tales magazines. And so some of it is mature content, well, mature for just violence, really. But 720 pages, $100. You have a lot of Marv Wolfman in here. You've got a lot of Gene Colan, which is always a good thing. Chris Claremont does some of the stuff in here, and Tony DeZuniga are also in this particular book. Marvel Masterworks Omega the Unknown, the direct market and standard edition cover are collected in this, or both coming out the same day. Sorry, I get excited about this one because this is an all-in-one. There's nothing that happens after this, so there is no volume 2 coming out unless I guess they relaunch the series, and then we'll have a Masterworks 30 years from. Oh my gosh, that's crazy to think about. But this collects Omega the Unknown 1 through 10, and the Defenders 76 through 77. So this is a series that started in 1976, and unfortunately for Steve Gerber, it kind of, well, it got canceled. But he was able to finish his story in the pages of Defenders, which he was writing at the time. So very, very cool that this is coming out, and I think I love when Marvel does stuff like this. Like it's all in one, so you don't need anything afterwards. And I could be wrong. I don't see an omnibus happening of Omega. Marvel Multiverse role-playing game, The Cataclysm of Kang. I don't play Dungeons and Dragons. I don't play role-playing games. And I'll be honest with you, I have this book, and I'm giving it to my buddy Tina, who loves role-playing games. But I've almost wanted to keep it because it's got illustrations in there by Ivan Coelho, and I'll be doing an overview of it. It's a beautiful book. It is a hardcover, $49.99, but it is really like the guide to this particular multiverse role-playing game. Daredevil and Elektra by Chip Zdarsky, Volume 3, The Red Fist Saga, Part 3. So this collects issues 11 through 14 of Chip Zdarsky's run, finishing out his run on Daredevil. That's it. No mas. Alien by Shalvey and Brocardo, Volume 1. So the clan Shalvey and Andre Brocardo are now the creators behind this. So this is really Volume 3 of the Alien in the Marvel era. Collecting Alien 2023, the A stories 1 through 5. I'm sure the B stories will be collected elsewhere. Amazing Spider-Man by Zeb Wells, Volume 7, Armed and Dangerous. Collecting issues 27 through 31 of the Zeb Wells era. Spider-Man Volume 2, Who is Spider-Boy? Dan Slott, Mark Bagley. So this is the one that reveals who Spider-Boy is, if you're interested in that character. And I'm not talking about the amalgam character, Spider-Boy by Wieringo. The mashup of Superboy and Spider-Man. Okay. From the world of DC Comics, we have Batman the Hush Saga Omnibus. I'll be talking a little more about that one in my top 10. But I'm excited for it. I know it's not for everybody, and I get it. Ex Machina, the complete series Omnibus. If you missed out on Ex Machina and you want to pick up all 50 issues plus the Ex Machina special 1 through 4, I'm a big fan of Brian K. Vaughan. I think this is one of my least favorite stories he did. And there's nothing wrong with it. It's a good story. It's about this guy named Mitchell Hundred who has the ability to control machinery because of some accident as superhero stories began. It is part of the Vertigo line, but I think it's probably going to be published as a DC Black Label. No, actually, it was a Wildstorm. It wasn't Vertigo. It was a Wildstorm that originally published this. But it's got a lot of political things in here, like including running for mayor of New York City and things like that. But yeah, I found this one okay. The big push for me was, of course, Tony Harris's wonderful artwork. I've been following his art since the days of Starman. Speaking of Starman, I'd love to see Starman get this kind of treatment, but this is a new printing in case you missed out on it the first time. Superman, the War World Saga, Philip Kennedy Johnson, Ricardo Federici, and David Lapham, Daniel Samper doing some of the artwork in here. This collects Action Comics 1030 to 1046, Action Comics 2021 annual, the 2022 annual, Batman Superman, The Authority Special Number 1, Future State Superman House of L, Future State Superman Worlds of War 1 and 2, and the War World Apocalypse. This is a compendium, so this is 728 pages, $59.99, and it is a soft cover. Absolute Preacher Volume 2, for the people that missed out on that. We just did an old reader, new reader on Absolute Preacher Volume 1, so I'm glad the ladies liked it enough to continue this. $150, 720 pages. I want to say the original printing was $125, if I'm not mistaken. This one will have the DC logo, the Black Label logo, instead of the Vertigo logo. The Adventures of Superman, John Kent, Tom Taylor, and Clayton Henry. Now, there's a name I haven't seen for a while at the Big Two. I really liked his artwork. It's clean, crisp, and I love the way he drew these big jaws. Of course, his art style could have changed by now. But this collects The Adventures of Superman, John Kent 1 through 6. And from the world of manga, we have 365 Days to the Wedding by Seven Seas Entertainment. That's a year. Plenty of time. Afro Samurai, the box set, has been pushed back on this until this particular date. The Ancient Magus Bride box set is coming out. Very excited for this one. It didn't make it in my top 10, but I'm excited nonetheless because I have them. I think I have the first 8. And I'm that stupid. This collects 9 volumes. This is by Seven Seas Entertainment. They haven't done a lot of big box sets. I think most of the time they stick around to like 6 volumes or 7 volumes. Um, this one is 9 volumes, so because of 1 volume. However, the price is a little off. It's $119.99. But then again, I think those were a little more than $9.99. I think those were $12.99, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, $119.99 collecting the first 9 volumes. I don't have an image of the box set. I think they're waiting until later to reveal what it looks like, even though it's due out in a couple of weeks. Blue Exorcist Volume 28 is coming out. That brings back memories of like, this is gonna make me sound old. This damn thing to me is still new manga. This to me is still new manga because I feel like it's still like, I don't know, when did this come out? Like 10 years ago? How in the world does time fly like that? It's just crazy. It's not fair, I tell you. It's not fair at all. Cat on Hero's Lap is coming out from Seven Seas Entertainment. That's a cute title. I like that title. Die Dark, the box set, is coming out that week. And this is another one of those box sets from Seven Seas Entertainment. This time around, though, it's only 4 volumes. And it's the first box set, so we know there's going to be more. And I wonder why that decision was made. Why not wait until there are more volumes? And maybe you all know the answer, like there was a hiatus or something. But I'm curious about this one. I'm a big fan of the artwork. And this here is $54.99. So it's kind of like the price of that Ancient Magus Bride. Gannibal Volume 1. I saw that Ablaze is trying to kickstart a box set of this. Very interesting that they're going the route of Kickstarter for projects like this, but I wish them luck. And Love Nest, the second edition, Volume 1, is coming out that very same week. And another box set is coming out, and that is Made in Abyss. And I've not had a chance to read the book, but I'm a big fan of the anime, and I love that art style. So I'm very curious what this one will be like. This only collects the first 5 volumes, so I'm assuming there's going to be more. For the world of Dark Horse Comics, we have Eerie Archives Volume 2 coming out in a trade paperback format. This collects Eerie Magazine 6 through 10. The World of Black Hammer Omnibus Volume 2. So this is the trade paperback format that collects the Quantum Age and Black Hammer 45. 296 pages, $29.99. BPRD Omnibus Volume 8. Again, a thick trade paperback. This one, 416 pages, $29.99. And Clear, this is by Scott Snyder and Francis Manapul. This one looks really interesting. This collects the first 3 issues that were originally published in Comixology, and now it's coming out in a physical format by Dark Horse. I love that they've been doing that. From the world of IDW, we have Christopher Cantwell writing Star Trek Defiant Volume 1. And this is Next Generation, I assume, based on the cover, right? No? Or is that Spock? Definitely Worf and Data. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Armageddon Game by Tom Waltz and Vincenzo Federici. It's a hardcover for $29.99, and it collects all 8 issues of The Armageddon Game. Oh, I hope they include that sometime down the road in the future volumes of the TMNT IDW collections. Rose Wolves by Natalie Warner is coming out in a hardcover format, 80 pages, $14.99. From the world of Image Comics, we have Dead Romans hardcover by Fred Kennedy and Nick Marinkovic, and this collects Dead Romans 1 through 6. I Kill Giants, the 15th anniversary. By the way, when I do my top 10 most wanted or must buys, must reads, I Kill Giants was last month, okay? And it still stands, even though it won't be showing up this particular month. And we're also getting Love Everlasting number 2. This is the Tom King, Elsa Charretier series, collecting issues 6 through 10. My wife is so excited. She forgot that Volume 1 was out, so now I got to pick up Volume 1 and 2 for her. Ice Cream Man Sunday Edition Volume 2, finally coming out this day, and collecting issues 13 through 24. Haha number 6, and the Quarantine Comics Special, $44.99. I don't know. I'm assuming there's going to be a DCBS variant collection. Invincible, the Complete Library, hardcover, volume 4. So Robert Kirkman with Ryan Otley and Corey Walker on this particular run. This puts the Ultimate Collection's hardcovers, so the two hardcovers, 7 and 8, and make it into a big library edition, like oversized book. So it's got over 600 pages, $125 collecting issues 71 through 96. And from Boom Comics, we have the all-new Firefly Gospel According to Jane by David Boer, Simona Di Giancafelis, and Mona Finden, collecting all-new Firefly 9 and 10, and the big damn finale number 1. Jim Hanson's Labyrinth Beyond the Goblin City. This is a new series, I believe, and that is definitely a Mike Allred cover, even though I don't see it written on here. Power Rangers Universe is coming out that week, collecting Power Rangers 1 through 6, and it is the true origin of the Phantom Ranger. And I thought that one was supposed to come out a few weeks ago, but no, it looks like, yeah, it's been, yeah, it looks like it's been pushed back. Okay, just making sure. I had to double check. Frankie Comics is coming out in a graphic novel format, as well as I Am Only a Foreigner Because You Do Not Understand is coming out in a trade paperback format. And that is being published by Secret Acres. And we're also getting Loud House hardcover collection. I can't believe they put these out in hardcover, but that's really cool. Bump It Loud. Always reminds me of my buddy Amanda, who worked on that show for a while. Second Coming, Volume 3 is coming out, Trinity, and that is published by Ahoy Comics. Hell yes! I don't know what this is. Bill and Ted Roll the Dice. Was there a mashup I didn't know about? That, like, there's this whole underground cult about Bill and Ted and Dungeons and Dragons. Even the font of the book. James Asmus, John Barber. Wow. This is published by Opus Comics. I was a big fan of Bill and Ted, man. Loved it. Collected Topi, Volume 10, Future Perfect, published now by Magnetic Press. Cool Code hardcover, Volume 2. Switch Glitch is coming out that week. Disenchantment Untold Tales Volume 1 is coming out that very same week. And that is being published by Titan Comics based on the Matt Groening series that was on Netflix. Doctor Who, 4th Doctor Anthology is coming out that week. That is published by Panini UK. $39.99. So this is the stuff from 1979. And then we're also getting the Liberation of Daleks, the $19.99. The 14th Doctor's adventure begins here. Interesting. From the pages of the Doctor Who magazine. So this is not the stuff that Titan Comics has been publishing. This is the stuff from the weekly magazines. And speaking of Titan, we're getting the Horizon Zero Dawn box set coming out that very same week. And look on the channel for Maddie's overview of that. Left Star and the Strange Occurrence is coming out that very same week. And that is being published by Silver Sprockets. As well as Michael Mouse One Shot. Not Mickey Mouse, this is from Floating World Comics. Mitch Lomier is the creator behind this. This is $12. Nathan Hell's Hazardous Tales hardcover Above the Trenches is coming out that very same week. And that is being published by Amulet Books. New Rat City Volume 1 is being published by Scout Comics. And that is Honor Vincent and Jorge Cuadros are the creator. I really like that cover. That's just the angle. Looks awesome. 1 bourbon, 1 scotch, 1 beer. I try not to sing that. And I finally did it. It's hard not to sing the stupid song. Pantera, Vulgar Display of Power, coming out in hardcover. Both of those, the 1 bourbon and Pantera, are published by Z2 Comics. And we're also getting Professor Calculus Science Forgotten Genius coming out from Far Shore Comics, as well as the Puck Artist and Myth of Color, published by Scout Comics by Miles Greb and Garrett Richard. And we're getting Quested, Trade Paperback Volume 1, or I guess Season 1, as well as Red Harvest, Terror, Famine in the Soviet Ukraine is coming out that very same week from NBM. And Silence, Full Stop, that is being published by Street Noise Books. That is one hell of a cover. This is a memoir by Karina Shore. Gosh, that cover. It's devastating, beautiful. Skullduggery, Pleasant. Volume 1, Bad Magic, is coming out that week, as well as The Spirit Soul Collector. And that is being published by Rocket Ship Entertainment. And Topi Gallery, All the World's Glory, is coming out in hardcover from Magnetic Press. Now, if you're interested in purchasing some of these books, check out our first sponsor.
If you're in Europe and you're interested in buying these books, definitely check out Walt's Comic Shop in Berlin, Germany. They have the cheapest pre-order prices, flat shipping rate of €12 for all EU countries, emails answered within 24 hours, waltscomicshop.com, and you can use the code nearmintcondition at checkout and get free shipping for all EU countries with your first order over €40. That's Walt's Comic Shop, your reliable source for omnis and premium collected editions in Europe. Ding!
The week of November 21st, for Marvel Comics, we have Star Wars: The Mandalorian Season 2, Part 1. So, 144 pages, $24.99, collecting Season 2, 1 through 4 of The Mandalorian. Daredevil and Echo, this is the story by Taboo with Phil Noto on artwork, collecting Daredevil and Echo 1 through 4, and Elektra 100. Which had previously been collected in the Woman Without Fear, I believe, that particular issue. And it's not collected in the not Devil's Reign, but Daredevil by Chip Zdarsky, Omnibus Volume 2. Danny Ketch, Ghost Rider, Blood, and Vengeance. Howard Mackie is reuniting with his creation, and this time around it's Daniel Picciotto doing the artwork here, collecting the first 4 issues of this series. And the Incredible Hulk Omnibus Volume 2. For all you folks that love the Silver Age, both the direct market cover and the standard edition cover are going to be collected that day. And this one collects Incredible Hulk 103 to 134, plus the annual number 1, collecting 832 pages of the Green Goliath for $100. Herb Trimpe and, of course, Stan Lee. The cover, the direct market cover that I really like is that Jim Steranko cover. That thing, I mean, so many people have done an homage to that cover. It's actually back here. Marvel Masterworks Werewolf by Night, continuing the Werewolf by Night stories, collecting issues 9 through 21, as well as Tomb of Dracula number 18, Giant-Sized Creatures number 1, and material from Monsters Unleashed 6 through 7. Both covers will be available the same day. You've got artwork in here from Mike Plug and Don Perlin, and of course the stories by Marv Wolfman and Mike Friedrich. Marvel Studios Hawkeye, the art of the series. So it's another one of those landscape books in hardcover format, 216 pages, $60. Deadpool by Alyssa Wong, Volume 2. I enjoyed the first one. The first one made me laugh. And this is their run on Deadpool, collecting issues 6 through 10. Javier Pina doing the artwork here, $15.99, 144 pages. From the world of DC Comics, we have The Riddler, Year 1. There's 2 covers for this one. There's a direct market cover and a standard edition cover. But both are in hardcover format, 232 pages, collecting the 6-issue miniseries of The Riddler by Paul Dano and Stevan Subic is the artist on the book. Green Lantern Kyle Rayner Compendium. This is the Kyle Rayner Rising Compendium. $59.99, 704 pages. And The Sandman Morpheus, it's the big edition, the masterpiece edition. I've not seen pictures of this yet. And, I mean, unless my viewers really, really want me to review it, this is a $500 box set. They are hardcover. They are beautiful. And Sandman is my wife and I's, like, one of our favorite series that we both enjoy. But this collects everything, including Sandman 1 through 75, The Dream Hunters, Endless Nights, and Overture. I don't see Death, though. I mean, surely they're gonna... I mean, Death is only 6 issues. Both the three-issue miniseries. Anyway, but that's a beautiful looking set. Poison Ivy, Volume 2, Unethical Consumption. My buddy Bar loves this series so much, and I still have not read the first volume. G. Willow Wilson, Atugan Ilhan is the artist. Poison Ivy 7 through 12 is what's collected in this hardcover, $24.99. And we're also getting Aquaman Andromeda. This is the hardcover edition by Ron V and Christian Ward, 168 pages, collecting all 3 issues of this Black Label. So it's like a magazine dimension of this one. Batman, Harley, and Ivy, Paul Dini, Bruce Timm. This classic stories here. Collecting the 3-issue miniseries, Batman Adventures Annual Number 1, Batman Adventures Holiday Annual 1, Batman and Robin Adventures 8, Batgirl Adventures 1, Batman Gotham Knights 14, and Batman Black and White Number 3. So a lot of the stuff collected in here is not in that Batman Adventures Omnibus. From the world of manga, I got this one in a week ago. This is Berserk Deluxe Edition Volume 14. And I ain't even gonna lie. I shed a tear when I was opening it up. It's the final volume by Kentaro Miura. You damn right this will be in my top 10, so I'll talk more about it then. Boyfriends is coming out that very same week. And that one there is being printed by Webtoon Unscrolled, who I got to meet at New York Comic Con. They seem like a good group of folks. Enad hardcovers coming out that very same week, as well as, and that is a volume 1. The Innocent Omnibus is coming out that very same week. That is being published by Dark Horse Comics, and this one here is by Shinichi Sakamoto, and it has 632 pages. It is a trade paperback size, so it's like the first 3 volumes put together, but still in that small tankobon size book. And Lord Hades' Ruthless Marriage is coming out that very same week, and that is being published by the folks over at Yen Press, and that is a volume 1. That one's $15. One More Step, Come Stand By My Side is coming out that very same week. And that one piqued my interest because of that cover. And that's another one that's being published by Yen Press for $15. And those tend to be over, not just sometimes bigger, but also thicker than normal volume numbers. Orange, the complete box set. That one surprises me. This is another one of those 7 Seas book. This has been released in 2 big omnibus editions that were not oversized, but just thick. Tankobon size, but this collects all 7 volumes in one beautiful box set that also includes a set of 8 postcards. $79.99 if you haven't had a chance to read Orange. Orb on Movements of Earth Omnibus is coming out that week from 7 Seas Entertainment, so it's another omnibus this time around, collecting the first 2 volumes. Origin, Volume 1 from Vertical Comics is coming out that very same week. That cover alone, that's pretty damn cool. Phantom Thief Red is coming out from Yay Y Publishing. Not familiar with that publisher. And Rascal Does Not Dream of Logical Witch is coming out that very same week. And we're also getting Team Phoenix Volume 1. This one I'm excited for because this is being published by Udon Entertainment. But it is the characters. It's very interesting, like how this is working. Magnetic Press is publishing the works, but this is the actual manga based on that big crossover. So it is. How do I describe it? Smash Brothers meets Osamu Tezuka's works. So you have Kimba there, and Princess Knight, the 3-eyed one, Sharaku, characters like that. It's just interesting. It's like. Astro Boy, I assume, is going to show up. Yeah, it looks really interesting. But I'm in for that. From the world of Dark Horse Comics, we have ElfQuest Stargazer's Hunt Complete Collection. And that is by Wendy and Richard Peeney and Sony Straight working on this book, collecting ElfQuest Stargazer's Hunt, volumes 1 and 2. 208 pages. It is a hardcover for $29.99. The Fifth Beatle, Brian Epstein's story. This is one of my favorite reads. If you've not read it, this is a paperback edition of this wonderful book that was originally published in hardcover and in softcover in a big oversized format. This is the 10th anniversary edition. It's by Vivek Tiwari. But this is a beautiful book. I got an early copy from Dark Horse, so If you've not read it, you don't have to be interested at all in the Beatles. It is just an amazing story about their fifth member, or who they consider the fifth Beatle, and that is Brian Epstein. Oh, it's so good. This one's $24.99, 184 pages. Grendel, Devil by the Deed, Master Edition. And it's really interesting because there's also like a limited edition of this coming out. But this is a hardcover, 136 pages, and this is Devil by the Deed. Matt Wagner at the height of his artistic and storytelling prowess, and it features 120 all-new story pages that will dazzle first-time and long-time readers alike. $29.99, 136 pages. And from the world of IDW, we're getting Predators, a Smithsonian coloring book. From Image Comics, we're getting Black Science, the 10th Anniversary Deluxe Edition, not just the Volume 1, but Volumes 2 and 3. So if you missed out on it the first time around, do yourself a favor and check it out. It's such a freaking awesome read. I told Rick Remender when I met him at New York Comic Con, I'm like, I know you have tropes about your stories, but I love them. I love your tropes. I think they're great. So, broken guy, has issues with family, doing these ungodly things here in this particular series. If you've not read it, it's got artwork by Matteo Scalera. If you want to go back, I did an overview of the first 3 original printings a couple of years ago. But I'll be happy to put the link in the description of the video. But yes, all 3 are being reprinted again. And we're getting the Complete Invincible Library Edition. So they are going back and reprinting those. Indigo Children Volume 1 is coming out that very same week, and that is by Kurt Pires and Rockwell White, collecting Indigo Children 1 through 6. And we're also getting Kaya Book 2, Wes Craig. Oh, Wes Craig is writing and drawing this one. That's what's up. I'm a big fan of Wes Craig. Since his days on Guardians of the Galaxy, and then, of course, Deadly Class. Monstrous, Volume 8. I really thought that series was over. So I guess they got enough for a 3rd volume. Collecting issues 42 through 47 of Marjorie Liu's and Sana Takeda's masterpiece. Spawn Universe box set is coming out, collecting the Spawn Universe one-shots King Spawn Volume 1, Gunslinger Spawn Volume 1, and Scorch Volume 1. And this one is limited to 2,500 sets. Summoner's War Volume 2, Awakening, from Justin Jordan and Luca Claretti. I'm a big fan of Justin Jordan. Collecting Summoner's War, Awakening 1 through 6. And Telos Saga. Okay, so this one looks like it got pushed back until this month. Again, this was in my top 13 whenever I did it for October. If you've not read it, this is a beautiful story by Todd DeZago and, of course, Mike Wieringo. And they're reprinting it in a hardcover format with beautiful, beautiful colors by Paul Mounts, too. I have to mention that because they are freaking awesome colors. From Boom, we're getting Creed, a trade paperback, The Next Round, by Latoya Morgan and Valentin Delandro. And Klaus, the complete Klaus Deluxe Edition, coming out in a hardcover format. So, if you've not had a chance to read those, as my wife likes to call it, super sexy Santa Claus. Now they're releasing it again in a big format. So, I think these were previously released in individual hardcover formats, and they were in deluxe editions. I'm not sure about this edition. I believe it started as a Kickstarter. And Alley Oop is coming back for this particular week. This is Back to the Captive Prince. Action Philosophers hardcover and softcover are coming out that particular week from Rocket Ship Entertainment, as well as Escaping Wars and Waves coming out that very same week. And we're also getting Exorcist Never Die. That's coming out in a trade paperback format from Mad Cave Studios. And Florence and Normandine is coming out in a trade paperback from Zombie Love Studios. Dig that cover. Ink Girls is coming out in a hardcover and a softcover edition. Live Forever, Volume 1 is coming out that very same week. And we're also getting the Majnun and Layla songs from Beyond the Grave. That one looks really interesting. Huh. And Langoshi and Peppy, Volume 2, Hot to Trot, published by Conundrum Press. This is Veronica Post, both the writer and artist on that particular book. And Mr. Ista, Volume 1 is coming out that very same week. And that is being published by Scout Comics. Getting a little bit of a Scotty Young vibe from that cover. This is Kit Wallace drawing and writing that particular story. And Pacey Packer, Volume 3, Mermaids versus Unicorns. And that is published by Random House Graphic Novels, Random House Graphics. Percy Jackson and the Olympians Lightning Thief is coming out that week from Disney Hyperion, as well as Randovis One-Dimensional Couriers is coming out in a hardcover format from the folks at Udon Entertainment. I thought about putting this one in the manga section. Random Vios. Oh my gosh. Can I even say that? One-Dimensional Couriers. Okay. Because I'm a big fan of Jeffrey Chambra Cruz, and his art has that anime flair. But I mean, the guy's from Brazil. It's like I'm sticking with my original plan and putting it right here because it might have a manga flair, but it's not out of Japan, right? So does it have to be out of Japan to be manga? I mean, there is American manga, and there is a section for that. Damn it, now I'm second-guessing myself. Where would you have put this? Anyway, big fan of his artwork. If you haven't seen it, oh my gosh, he draws some phenomenal art in the pages of Darkstalkers and the pages of Street Fighter. Sophie's World Volume 2 is coming out that very same week, and that is being published by Self-Made Heroes. And we're also getting Stan Lee Back Channel coming out, both in a hardcover format and a trade paperback format from Rocket Ship Entertainment. Stephen King's The Dark Tower drawing of 3 Omnibus is coming out from Gallery Edition. I haven't had a chance to look at the first one. I need to reach out to them to see, like, the dimensions of these are standard size, by the way. $99.99, and I believe there's going to be a total of 3 of these to wrap up the Marvel era of the Dark Tower. From Marvel Comics, the week of November 28th, we have Spider-Man by Tom Taylor. This is the complete series here. Of course, Saladin Ahmed does a little bit of this, collecting Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man 1 through 14 and Free Comic Book Day Spider-Man Venom from the 2019 Free Comic Book Day. $34.99, 360 pages. And we're also getting Excalibur Epic Collection. You are cordially invited. Man, I've been looking forward to this one here, and I love the fact that they included the 2001 Excalibur 4-issue miniseries, but this collects Excalibur 116 and 125, wrapping up that era with a beautiful cover here by Alan Davis. X-Men Unlimited number 19, X-Men True Friends 1 through 3. It's a beautiful story by Claremont featuring Kitty and Phoenix. But this wraps up the era. This is Ben Robb wrapping up this particular era. Rick Leonardi on artwork. Ruby's art, I think, in this particular run, too. $49.99, 512 pages. Groot Uprooted by Dan Abnett and Damien Corsiero. And this collects the 4-issue 2013 Groot series. Thunderbolts Dark Reign is coming out. So this is the Desperate Measures one-shot, Breaking Point one-shot, International Incident one-shot, Reasons and Madness one-shot, Thunderbolts 122 to 133, and Deadpool 8 through 9. So this is the era that's not collected in Epic Collection nor in Omnibus format if you're keeping track of a reading order of Thunderbolts. Immortal X-Men by Kieran Gillen, Volume 3. So you have Kieran Gillen, Lucas Wernick, and Paco Medina working on this book. Immortal X-Men 11 through 13, and X-Men Before the Fall Sinister 4. The Avengers West Coast Epic Collection is coming out with a new printing, Lost in Space and Time. $44.99, 488 pages, collecting West Coast Avengers 8 through 24, Annual number 1, and Avengers number 15. Annual number 15. Iron Man Epic Collection, The War of the Supervillains, collecting Iron Man 68 through 91, Annual number 3. And this has stuff in here from George Tuska, Mike Friedrich, and $44.99, 480 pages. Ghost Rider Volume 3, Out of Hell, Benjamin Percy continuing his run on the character of Ghost Rider, and that is, of course, Danny Ketch and Johnny Blaze. Collecting Ghost Rider 11 through 16. This was a really fun read. It was a good read, and I hope it continues to be. From the world of DC Comics, we are getting Wonder Woman by Gail Simone Omnibus. In case you missed out on it the first time around, they are reprinting it for $100. Green Lantern, the Silver Age Omnibus Volume 1 is also getting a new printing. This one's $125, but it has 1,000 pages. Collecting Showcase 22 through 24, Green Lantern 1 through 35. Man, they're doing a lot of reprints. Seven Soldiers by Grant Morrison Omnibus. Look, this isn't making it in my top 10 because top 10 was so hard, but if you've never seen J.H. Williams' artwork, this will blow your mind. Uncanny Omar Talk Pretty one day. This will blow your mind because, no, he's not the only artist on here. There's Simone Bianchi in here. There's Cameron Stewart in here. But he does the issue number 0 of Seven Soldiers and issue number 1. So in here, let's talk about that first. Is issue 0 and 1 of Seven Soldiers, Shining Knight 1 through 4, Guardian 1 through 4, Zatanna 1 through 4, Clarion the Witch Boy 1 through 4. That's the one by Irving, I believe. Mr. Miracle 1 through 4, and Bulleteer 1 through 4, as well as Frankenstein 1 through 4. 792 pages, $125. But what he's able to do is mimic their art styles. All these different artists that worked on all these different miniseries, like Doug Mankey and all those guys, and make you think that they drew their own segments of the 0 and 1 issue. It's insane. He's such a phenomenal artist. Again, not in my top 10 because the top 10 is always a pain in the butt to put together, but I love doing it. This would have been 11, though. And this one here would have been 12. Batman the Dark Knight Detective Comics number 8. Long time coming. I believe this is the last one we need that maps this perfectly up to the beginning of Nightfall. So this is collecting issues 644 to 652 and Detective Comics Annual number 5. So we have Chuck Dixon's era in here, Tom Lyle, Graham Nolan doing a lot of this stuff in here, and much welcome addition. Hopefully they'll start focusing on other collections, thicker collections, maybe compendiums. I don't know what they'll end up doing. Superman, Son of Kal-El, Volume 2, The Rising, Tom Taylor and John Timms. This is the paperback edition of this book that previously was released in a hardcover. Danger Street. I had no idea Tom King was working on another book. Danger Street and Jorge Fornes. So both of them are the ones that worked on the Rorschach story, and they came back to do this particular book. So this collects Danger Street 1 through 6. And from the world of manga, we have Beyond the Clouds, Volume 5. I think I've added this before on my... because I don't talk about every manga. Believe me, this would be 3 times as long a video if I talked about every manga. I just love that artwork. Cells at Work Omnibus Volume 1. So it's been released as a box set. It's been released in a single tankobons, but now it's coming out in an omnibus edition. Daigo the Beast is coming out with a Volume 5, published by Udon Studios. It has a lot of just fighting game tropes in there. Farming Life in Another World, Volume 9 is coming out that very same week. And that is being published by One Piece Books. Not Peace, but Peace. That. Volume 9 is coming out that very same week. Gold Kingdom and Water Kingdom is coming out. And that is being published by Seven Seas Entertainment. And JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Part 6, Stone Ocean, hardcover, Volume 1. I'm still... need to go back to that world of JoJo because people kept telling me to keep reading. I just haven't had a chance. Oni Ronin is coming out that week, and that is being published by Dark Horse Comics. The story is by Kohei Nagamine, and the artwork is by Tatsubi. It is created by Mac Flavel, though. It's very interesting. It's set in Japan during the Sengoku, or the Warring States period. It is a tale of cowardice, sacrifice, and redemption. Man, it looks pretty interesting. And also getting the Tekkon Kincrete Black and White 30th Anniversary Edition hardcover. World's End Harem Fantasia Volume 10 is coming out. Dang, girl, can your clothes get any tighter? Oh, of course they can. What the hell am I even asking that for? From Dark Horse Comics, we're getting All 8 Eyes by Steve Fox and Peter Kowalski. This collects issues 1 through 4 of All 8 Eyes. And it has a bunch of pinups by James Stocco, David Romero, Trevor Henderson. From IDW, we're getting Dungeons & Dragons, the Library Collection, Volume 1. Now, their library collections are not oversized hardcovers. This is a trade paperback, 248 pages, $29.99. R.A. Salvatore and Gino Salvatore. And from the world of Image Comics, we're getting Saga Volume 11. Brian K. Vaughan and Fiona Staples continuing this wonderful series, collecting issues 61 through 66. And Antioch from Patrick Kindleon and Marco Ferrari, collecting Antioch issues 1 through 4. Spawn cover gallery hardcover. It's getting a new printing. I think this one was delayed, but now it's coming out this last week. Collecting Spawn 1 through 100, just the covers, $19.99. So if you have the compendiums, and I swear I think I've mentioned this before, those don't have the covers, and you want the covers, then this is for you. $19.99. Street Angel Princess of Poverty. Jim Rugg, Brian Maruka are the creators behind this. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. I dig that cover, and I do enjoy Jim Rugg's work. All right, from the world of Boom, we're getting Garfield Full Course Trade Paperback, Volume 1, 45th Anniversary. Mark Evanier, Scott Nickel, Gary Barker, Dan Davis, Mike DiCarlo, Lisa Moore. People I had no idea that worked on Garfield. Like, this collects Garfield comics 1 through 8, so not the comic strips. Jim Hanson's Beneath the Dark Crystal, the complete collection, collecting Dark Crystal 1 through 12, is coming out. This is $75. It is a hardcover. And Dune, House of Harkonnen, hardcover volume 1 is coming out, collecting all 4 issues of that particular. From Cinebook, we're getting Asterios, the Minotaur, and that is by Serge Letendre and Frederic Paynet. $18.95. And another one from Cinebook, Bear's Tooth, Volume 5. Ava is coming out that very same week. Born Driven is coming out in a hardcover format, and it looks to be one of these smaller books, and that is published by Oni Press. And we're also getting the Cities of Magic, Volume 1 is coming out that very same week from Scout Comics, as well as Comics Rebubbled, and that is being published by Book Palace. And Cossack Volume 2, Into the Wolf's Den, is published by Cinebook. That one looks awesome. As well as Dungeons & Dragons Club Volume 1, Roll Call. Death and Sparkles is being published by Chronicle Books. This is Volume 2, Sacred Golden Cupcake. And we're also getting Doctor Who, Doomsday, published by Titan Comics. From the Static is also coming out that very same week from Band of Bards. It looks really interesting. As well as the Golden Age Classics, The Spirit, coming out in a hardcover format, and there's also a slipcase edition. Hardcover is $52.99, the slipcase is $62.99. Michael Moorcock's Elric Deluxe Edition White Wolf is coming out, so it looks like it got pushed back. And Miss Tree, Heroine Withdrawal. I'm such a huge fan of this character. Max Allan Collins. This one has artwork from Terry Beatty. Max Allan Collins, by the way, is the gentleman that did the Road to Perdition comic. And if you've not read these and you like crime noir stuff, oh my gosh. Solid stories. The Pre-Code Classics Weird Terror softcover edition is coming out. That is a Volume 3. Ruined is coming out that very same week, and that is being published by First Second Books. as well as Zombie Makeout Club Volume 2. Now, for the people that are wondering where's the Conan Omnis from Titan Comics, those have been now pushed back until 2024. They're still coming out. They're not canceled projects. They're just... how do I word this? They're trying to get you the best quality product out there. As far as these omnibus editions. So it's both the continuation of Savage Sword and the reprints of Volume 1, the original Marvel Comics years. Where was I? So, did I talk about Zombie Makeout Club? Or was I in the middle of talking about Zombie Makeout Club? Regardless, Zombie Makeout Club is coming out from Ablaze Publishing. And we're also getting Zombie Zero coming out that very same week. Now, if you're interested in any of the books I've talked about, check out our sponsor, cheapgraphicnovels.com, your online home for graphic novels and collected editions up to 50% off cover price. They have excellent shipping and prompt and helpful service. Check out their bargain deals for up to 90% off cover price. And don't forget that CGN also takes pre-orders. That way you don't miss out on the hottest releases. And they are currently running a special promotion for you Minties. If you're a first-time customer, after receiving your order confirmation email, reply back to that email and let them know Near Mint Condition sent you their way. They will then apply a free shipping promotional credit to your next order in the US. Cheap Graphic Novels, your source for the hottest books with the kind of deep discount, quality shipping, and customer service that will keep you coming back for more. And those were all the collected editions coming out in November of 2023. Let me know in the comments down below what you are picking up, what you're hoping to get in the month of December, last month of the year. Man, I have been doing these for... it's been a few years, 4 or 5 years since I've been doing these. It's a lot of work to put together, but I love doing them, and you all love watching these, so thank you all so much. Thank you, seriously. Thank you for smashing the like button, sharing the videos, and check out our Patreon if you want written documentation of this stuff, plus other stuff that's available on our Patreon. But that's it, everyone. Stay healthy and safe out there. Much love.